Your biggest thing is put yourself on a gold standard and silver standard. The hard, start with one silver coin is what, $20, but put yourself on a gold and silver standard because they're still real money. Well, as I've said many times in your programs, very simple point of view. I simply don't trust my government, especially this character Biden, and I don't trust the Fed, I don't trust the banks, and I don't trust Wall Street. So it's pretty simple philosophy. In other words, what I say, every time I'm on your show, if you can print it, I don't want it. So if you can print the dollar, I don't want it. You can print a stock, I don't want it. I want something I can see, touch, and feel, or like our friend Jim Rickard says, what's real? Find out what's real. So as you know, I've been a gold bug since about 1971 when Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard. And I'm becoming more fanatical, not less. And I literally have tons of gold and silver, tons, because I own gold mines. Yes, well, Andy Schectman talks a lot about that. He talks about the BRICS. The BRICS nations are Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. And he talks about how the Belt and Road project now is going to affect 90% of the world's population, and they'll all be on the CBDC yuan. They'll be going into Chinese crypto, not American. So the US dollar, according to this guy Andy Schectman, is toast. And that's why it's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, they're going to take over the world with their own gold standard. Well, I would listen to Andy Schectman because I tell you, man, if he doesn't convert you to the Kool-Aid of gold, nothing will. Nothing will. And that's why, as you know, I've been a gold bug since 1972. I was a Marine pilot in Vietnam, and I flew behind enemy lines to look for gold. And today I literally own tons of gold and silver. And so this guy Andy Schectman's talking about how the family offices and Commonwealth, everybody's buying gold and silver right now because they know the dollar's toast. So if you don't drink the Kool-Aid after watching Andy Schectman's video, yeah, I can't help you. I don't care about what the price is. All I care about is how many ounces. And I'm happy to say I now own tons because I'm a gold miner and a silver miner. And I own physical gold and silver. I know no ETFs. My rule of thumb, as you know, Danielle, is if you can print it, I don't want it. So what am I investing in today? Gold, silver, oil. I own the oil in the ground. I own Japanese breeding bulls, Wagyu cattle. Well, because it goes back to that story I tell. I'm a Marine pilot flying off a carrier off the South China Sea, and I find out Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard. I said, what does that mean? So I flew behind enemy lines because the NVA had overrun the mine. So proving Marines aren't the brightest guys on earth. And I try and buy gold at a discount. So I knew it was 35 an ounce. And the day I went looking for gold, it was $50 an ounce. And I was trying to get the little Vietnamese woman with red teeth. I still remember her. I was trying to get a discount. I want a discount. She goes, spot. I said, discount. She goes, spot. I said, what the hell is she talking about? She was one of my best teachers on gold I ever met. And ever since then, Danielle, I drank the Kool-Aid on gold and silver. Well, they're everywhere. I invited you, and you're still invited. We bought a gold mine in Utah. I made the mistake of starting a gold mine in China. I took it public on the Toronto Stock Exchange, and the Chinese took it. So I stopped eating Chinese food after that. But anyway, they nationalized the damn mine. But anyway, I invited you, and you're still invited. This is my latest mine here. It's called the Trixie Mine, and the call sign is ODV. But let me read the ounces per ton. This piece here is 671 ounces per ton. My gold mine in China was 20 ounces per ton. This is 671 ounces. It's the richest gold mine possibly in the world, but in America. It's 140 years old, and it sat there. Nobody looked at it because it was 140 years old. And this enterprising guy named Marin Katusa out of Vancouver, he said, let me look at this. So he went into the gold mines, a long story to say, he looked at the records, 140 years of all these little miners, with the burros and all this stuff, digging around in this place in Utah. He took all their records and digitalized it. And once he digitalized it, he looked at it, he put it into kind of pictures, and he says, oh my God, those guys 140 years ago missed the vein. Without technology, he would never have seen it. So he went in there and he went left like 20 feet, and that's why it's 671 ounces per ton. The richest gold mine in America. Now, don't believe a word I say because I'm a pitch man, but it's ODV. Check it out. But there's more opportunity than ever before. You're asking a very, very tenuous question, because my poor dad was a PhD, which stands for poor, helpless, and desperate. And they believe that their credentials, they believe a higher degree, like a master's or doctorates, will save them from the world. So their values are different. Whereas you and I and other people say, well, let's learn about money. Let's learn about finance. But in the academics world is I have a PhD and I'm smarter than you.
Right.
And that's a set, different value systems. The reason I joined the Marine Corps and not the Coast Guard, I could have flown for the Coast Guard or flown for the Marine Corps. If I'm going to go to war, I want to go with guys who want to kill. I don't want to go to war with a Coast Guard guy who wants to save lives. I want to make sure our values are lined up. So that's kind of it's the same as in marriage. If marriage is a tough game also, but if your values are lined up, you have a better chance. So values are core to the individual, and unfortunately, we all don't come from the same set of values. And most school teachers are different from us. They're good people, like my poor dad's a good man, but he was a Marxist. He believed in taxation and the abolition of private property and labor unions. Well, since we're on a goals channel, I'd say your biggest thing is put yourself on a gold standard and silver standard. Start with one silver coin is about $20, or one gold coin is about 2,000. But put yourself on a gold and silver standard because they're still real money. And it's now tier 1 according to the BIS, Bank of International Settlements, which Andy Schechtman talks about. Gold was moved from tier 3 to tier 1, which means gold is money.